That PGA championship, I finished third, but I hit every ball in play. And the neat thing was, Lon Hinkle had a special built club. He finished first. I think he got one ball in the grid. Jeff Fick, who's a great guy from Maryland, I think he got one or two balls in, and they kind of went down the sidelines. But all of mine went down the middle. So the final round of the PGA championship, they air our taped long drive. So they showed it, and I had some really good air time. And I'm an assistant pro at Bent Tree Country Club. And the phone rings, and I hear my head pro talking. And he said, yeah, he's here. And my head pro had a nickname for me. He called me Joe Palooka because I could hit the ball so far. So Eldridge comes out of his office and he says, Bobby, the Hawk just called. He wants to see you tomorrow. And I go, the Hawk? Mr. Hawkins, our member, where does he want to see me about? He goes, no, Bobby, dadgum you, Joe Palooka. He said, Mr. Hogan. And I said, oh, Bob Hogan, our member Bob Hogan. No, Ben Hogan, the Hawk, wants to see you tomorrow at Shady Oaks. He wants to watch you hit balls. At that moment, I went, the greatest ball striker in the world, the classic Ben Hogan, wants to watch me hit golf balls. I knew then my gift was validated, and it was certified by one of the greatest players of all time. You want to know what a lesson is like with Ben Hogan? It's a moment of a lifetime. I got to Shady Oaks. I saw the head pro there and the assistant pro, and they said, Mr. Hogan is playing his loop. There was 3 holes that he liked to play with 1 iron, and he'd just walk around. So the practice area was there, so I went over there to warm up, and I never saw Mr. Hogan. I just knew he was doing the loop. But on the tee with me was Ben Crenshaw. And it's a small world. Ben's father had gone to Baylor. My dad was at Baylor, and they were friends. So we brought up a little conversation, and so Mr. Hogan all at once kind of appears out of nowhere. I mean, it's like this Bagger Vance story. I mean, he just kind of came from underneath the trees, and he's looking over at Ben Crenshaw, and he's working with him. So what do? I start swinging a little bit better. You know, I want to make sure Mr. Hogan knows. And so what I would do is I would set up and then make the Hogan press, where he put the back of his left hand, you know, where it was flat, and that's how he'd swing it. And I'd kind of kick my right knee in a little bit because that was the Hogan move. So I'm hitting balls thinking I'm imitating the great Ben Hogan, and he came over and he looks at my clubs. You know, I just remember he looked at my irons and he's doing this, and then he's kind of looking at that, and he turns it upside down where he's holding the iron head, and he's got the grip towards me, and it's the shaft's extended. So I set up to hit a ball, and he swats the back of my hand. And he said, young man, is that a natural move? I said, no, sir, but the greatest player in the world makes this move, and I want to be just like him. And he says, Bobby, don't do anything unnatural in your swing. And I thought, wow. I mean, everybody wanted to be like Hogan, but he knew that that was his gift, that that's how he set up, and he did it. It wasn't for everybody. So what he was telling me is, your unique gift, don't change it. It's natural. It's yours. Just make it better.